If you're a busy professional man at heavy weight, low energy, belly fat, feeling uncomfortable in your body, this video is for you. I lost 60 pounds with 9 habits so boring that you would ignore them, and I'll show you the weight loss hierarchy of needs and a specific order in which you add these habits to lose the weight forever. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button because I'm making a new video about weight loss every week. I use these strategies to lose 60 pounds in 8 months and kept it off for 13 years, and I've helped dozens of men just like you lose up to 60 pounds and finally escape the yo-yo dieting cycle. And if you are finally tired of losing and gaining the same weight, I want to help you get to your healthy self without giving up the foods that you love. The first habit is that you are trying to hop on carnivore diets, keto diet, water fasting, juice diet, and these are not sustainable in the long run because in order to start out with just survive, you need to have maintenance calories to eat that to maintain your current weight, and you are not thinking about weight loss advice at all. So by understanding this, you are just getting the amount of food that you need, because if you're someone who tried keto diet, you are removing all the carbs from your diet and not figuring out how many calories you need. You are just removing too many calories, and most calories are in carbs. So let's imagine that you're a 30-year-old man who needs to eat 3,000 calories to be in the maintenance calories. Then you are removing all your carbs, then you are down to 1,500 calories, and that is way too aggressive. For example, the calorie deficit, because you are losing weight very fast, but it's unsustainable because you are having too much hunger, you are feeling fatigued, you have poor recovery after working out and going to work, so you're not able to focus on the presentations that you're making, and you're missing out on career opportunities and feeling just uncomfortable in your body. So that's not the advice that I really want you to focusing on. So instead, you want to have like a 15% of your daily calories coming from calorie deficits, and that is also 45% of the daily calories coming from high quality protein sources that can help you maintain the muscle mass you have, lose belly fat very fast, because the more muscle mass you have and higher protein diet, you're losing fat way faster and you're not feeling a lot of hunger. And by just having this first habit in check, you're going to see much more difference, and just weight loss will feel very much easy for you. If you want to lose the weight for good and become the most healthiest version of yourself, just like you saw with the transformation pictures and me of my clients in the beginning of the video, there's a link in the description and the comment section where you can apply for coaching with me, and we see if we are fit to work together. The next habit is having a proper recovery phase, also having enough fuel that comes from high quality carbs in order for you to recover faster after you've been working out, and also being able to be very focused when you are at work. Also being able to do for example, the walking like 8,000 steps every single day. You need to have 40% of daily calories coming from carbs, where you have slow digestible carbs. That could be whole wheat bread, whole wheat pasta, it could be quinoa, sweet potatoes, and also fast digestible carbs, because eating too many slow digestible carbs is making you feel too full and you're just bloated. So I recommend, like, sometimes you're throwing in a Mars bar, Kit Kat, or just muesli bar that is high quality, especially because you want to have 90% of your daily calories coming from whole foods, and then 10%, because if you are able to stick to your diet, you need to have a diet that you really enjoy, and just have some sweetness can also make you set up for a way that you are not feeling that you are dieting, you're actually eating foods that you really enjoy. And maybe you don't want to eat Kit Kat or Mars, you can just switch out with pancakes or maybe an apple. That some people don't need as much sugar, and that gives you the enough, for example, recovery, and also you're sleeping way better when you have higher carbs in your diet and recover faster, so you can work out in the gym 5 times a week, so you can get that lean, toned, muscular body. The third habit is drinking water and also black coffee, because if you are in a calorie deficit, you are automatically signaling to your brain and your body that you are very hungry. So by tricking your brain by reducing the amount of hunger you're feeling with drinking like a liter of water when you wake up like 7 a.m. and also black coffee throughout the day can reduce the hunger levels and also the cravings. So just by and making sure that you're doing these things is easier for you to maintain your weight loss, because you are not indulging in like the snacks that is work. I see a lot of professional men been, for example, some of my clients have been struggling with snacks after noon because of they have like some sugar cravings and their energy is plumbing. But also, if you're not having, for example, a slow digestible carbs in your diet, you are of course going to have slower decrease in your energy levels, and that just makes you have high chances of having cravings at work. The fourth habit is that tracking your steps, like 6,000 steps every single day with a step app, can make you burn even more calories, because to lose weight all around your body, you are needing to have this calorie deficit in order, but that is only going to help you lose weight from like maybe a pound a week if you are having a 300 calorie or 400 calorie deficit from your diet alone. But if you want to ramp up the calorie deficit, you need to expand even more calories by walking more or doing more cardio in the gym with a stationary bike or cross trainer. So for example, just going 6,000 steps every single day, that can help you burn even more, so maybe a pound every single week, so adding up 2 pounds every week. Sometimes it fluctuates up and down because you're just not able to maintain this calorie deficit because you are building more muscle while you are working out. So this is going to be very game changer for you, that you are losing weight and you don't feel like it's a big change because you've just been going outside for walks. Maybe you're talking with a friend and you may be hearing a podcast on your phone, and that makes 6,000 steps very manageable. You can stop going with the car to the gym. You can just walk, and instead of taking the elevator, you can take the steps at work. The fifth step is batching, for example, meal planning. When a lot of my clients coming to me, they are saying that they struggle with figuring out how to maintain a proper diet and also prepping their meals. So I usually just prep all my meals in the beginning of the week, where I have bought like 1-2 kilos of frozen chicken breast. I'm cooking like in an oven, like 1.5 kilo of chicken breast, put some salt and pepper. Then I have all the chicken for the week, and then also have a lot of package of salmon. I have 30 eggs. I have tons of tuna cans, and also whey protein, like 5 kilos from whey protein, or my protein it sounds. And I have all that in check. So if I'm making some meals, I also have some whole wheat bread and whole wheat pasta. So usually I'm just making like 4 eggs, that's very fast, and then I have a couple of whole wheat toast with some low fat butter, maybe a Mars bar afterwards, and a protein shake with 60 grams of whey protein and some skim milk. I have buying like 3 packages of skim milk. So that's just the first meal, and that's very easy to do, like maybe 10-15 minutes done. And if you want a snack in the afternoon, you just maybe having a couple of protein bars. You can eat 1 protein bar, like if you're eating like 12 p.m., then you having a protein bar like 3 p.m. and then 6 p.m. you can just cook some pasta, like 100 grams of whole wheat pasta with 100 grams of veggies. That could be frozen wok mix and like a tuna can, and that's very fast, like 10 minutes max. And then 9 p.m. you're just having some Greek yogurt with some blueberries. That's very easy to maintain this weight. And just by having a simple structured meal plan is easier if you have all the protein sources in check, and the pasta, quinoa, sweet potato, jams mostly just take like 10 minutes. But if you want to batch, for example, for 3 days of pasta, you're just boiling like 300 grams of pasta, and then you just spread it out in even proportions. So that's basically very easy. Sixth step is rewarding yourself for sticking to your weight loss plan in the beginning of the weight loss. After 2 weeks where you follow your calorie deficit diet, you are having your metabolism going from high to then low, and then eventually you need to reboost your energy levels with a free meal consisting of 700 grams of carbs. So that could be a stack of pancakes with some Nutella, and that is going to be something that can elevate your metabolism so you lose weight even faster. You're having higher energy levels, you're feeling that the muscles are even more tight around the skin because there's small amount of fat covering your muscles. And just by utilizing this strategy, maybe like every single week after the first 2 week period of just sticking to your calorie deficit, you lose weight even faster, and you just don't feel like it's a diet, it's just a lifestyle where you really enjoy eating the foods that you want. And I don't recommend that if you are having too many cheat meals in a row. You can have sometimes a can of soda in your fridge, so you are reducing the cravings, because having too many cheat meals in 1 week can reduces the amount of calorie deficit that you have. So if you are created a calorie deficit of 7,000 calorie deficit, and you're eating 7,000 calories above your maintenance calories, you are just so reducing the amount of calories that you've been burning. So that's just something that I want you to be aware of, because you've probably been doing that for several years. That's why you're always going to yo-yo dieting. You're eating very strict for 1 or 2 weeks, and then you just say, fuck it, I don't want to eat that anymore, because you're feeling that you are depriving yourself of foods that you really enjoy, and you are having trouble with the cravings. Cravings comes from not being able to handle the cravings. Everyone has cravings. The seventh habit is you need to prioritize your sleep habit and also your routine. I always recommend like 8, 9, maybe 10 hours of sleep if you're someone who's fairly active, working out 5 times a week in the gym and 10,000 steps. You're feeling very depleted, and also the higher the calorie deficit is, the more it puts a stress on your body. So sometimes you just need to eat more, or you can just, for example, sleep even more. And that is going to help you with reducing the cortisol. Cortisol is a stress level that signals to your body that is like on high alert, and it holds on the fat. So by having very low stress levels in your life can reduce the stress levels, and you're not holding on to all the fat stores. So it's just easier to lose weight, and you also have more energy for the main work is focusing on your job and focusing on the presentations, just networking with the clients, and maybe go on some business trips that can help you elevate your career and just feel more confident when you are at work, talking with people, and just being like the best and healthiest version of yourself. The eighth habit is having a coach that can be on your side and navigate you through the ups and downs of weight loss, because losing weight is not linear at all. It has a lot of ups and downs where you're not able to understand how your body functions, because you're just going through a lot of things that you've never been doing, and how to navigate cravings and emotional support when you, for example, have screwed up your diet because of like an unplanned event that had you staying up late at night. You don't have any food. So I always been using a coach when I was like trying to lose the 60 pounds, and that was just being more aware of getting more knowledge around how the body works, with how proper rest works, like, and also how to address if I'm just being very bored with the diet, and how to mix it up. Because if you're going to stick a diet, you're probably going to stick with it, but eventually you just saying, fuck it, I don't want to do it anymore, because it's just very bland and very restrictive, because you are not able to understand the mechanism of how to change your diet if you having unplanned events, and you want to be more flexible with diet to have a social life, and also at work if it has you going on business trips and you don't have the available foods. So that helps you a lot. And the last tip is just being more reflective about the type of choices that you make. Like if you're doing very great with your diet, you also have to be proud of yourself, tell yourself that you've been doing a great job, because if you are constantly reimbursing that you are competent in regards to sticking to a diet, you're working out, you are mentally reminding yourself you're doing great. But also if you're doing something that is out of the ordinary with your diet, you just have to be human and just being straight up with yourself, saying that you can do better, and also being grateful of what you've been doing throughout the day, that you're writing down in a journal at the end of the day, that you're grateful that you've been sticking to this diet for like 10 days now, and you've been incorporating these small changes. It takes some time to add up these things, because eventually when you lost the amount of weight that you want. For example, me, I lost 60 pounds in 8 months, kept it off for 13 years. I feel like the amount of self-actualization has been giving me the opportunity to just reach out to more like-minded men who are on the same journey, struggle with the same shit that I've been going through, and want to get a lean, toned, muscular body and feel the most healthy and confident version of themselves. Just being able to travel and do all shit that you want, like hiking, walking out, and being there for your family, because you need to have a proper health in order to take care of them. And if you want to lose the weight for good and become the most healthiest version of yourself, just like you saw with me and my client's transformation in the beginning of the video, there's a link in the description and in the comment section where you can apply for coaching with me, and we see if we are fit to work together. Just look forward to support you anyhow I can.